Folks, it's Rockin' Randy here with your PPW results. PPW number what, fellas? Hide! What number? A lot of help they are. Now you know what I'm up against. Fans, last Saturday night in Woodstock. First matchup number one, was one hell of a matchup between Inestra and Scott Colton. And that matchup just so happened to be a number one contendership. I told the people in attendance that they should put on their seatbelts. I said, fans, fasten your seatbelts. And sure as hell, those two kids did not disappoint. The match was going this way for Inestra and that way for Colton. Back, forth, back, forth, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back. See how I did that with the hand? Back, forth, back. You're a winner. Number one contender for the PPW World Heavyweight title, the human video game Scott Colton. Now match number two featured somebody from our past, somebody from the not so distant PPW past. I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's been a long day. I've been here since 11 a.m. It's now 11 p.m. I'm seeing stars. And I'll tell you, if El Lobo would have faced this guy by himself, he would have seen even more stars. The return of Michael Mack, the corn-fed colossus, who's down to a svelte 260 pounds. For God's sake, the man finally has abs. He used to be the powerhouse with just an ab. Now he's got abs. In the Random Phantom, he drew El Lobo. It was supposed to be El Lobo versus Michael Mack. Michael Mack came back with a vengeance, showing some sportsmanship. He says, Rand, pick again. This ain't fair. I outweigh this guy by 100 pounds. He put himself in harm's way and drew a true test. When he drew a second name, or I drew a second name, or the fans drew a second name out of the fedora, what are you showing me that number one for? I can remember that. Where the hell were you when I needed numbers for the damn what event the taping it was? Okay, he pulled 0-1. In a nutshell, we ended up with Michael Mack in a handicap match versus El Lobo, who the fans really do take to, and 0-1, who I don't think they so much take to, but is becoming technically sound in his own right. Although they put up a fight, Michael Mack won that handicap match. That's right. He body slammed one and he body slammed the other one on top of that one. 1, 2, 3. Now, after that matchup, the team of 0-1 and El Lobo, who'd already got lunch fed to him by Michael Mack, before they were able to get up and shake off the cobwebs and walk themselves in back, enters, the hunk with the tree trunks. Followed by Veronica Ronnie Metro and Irish Andy Anderson to throw out the challenge. To throw out the challenge to 0-1 and El Lobo when these guys had already had a long night. To tag. The participants were Chase Gosling and Ronnie Metro versus 0-1 and El Lobo, who, you gotta commend them on the size of their heart, accepted the challenge with Andy Anderson outside the ring. So basically, you know that thing was gonna end up at some points 3-on-2. So guess who won that matchup? Gosling and Metro. What was the next match? Don't be shy now. We had a brief intermission. We came back with a non-title matchup where Matt Vine got to hone his skills and win against Texas Pete with the reverse neck breaker. I think that's what he calls it. Either way, Pete's going to be in traction this week and probably won't be around Saturday night. To the fans' delight, again, it was Matt Vine who won that matchup. What else? What's next? Man, just say it. Don't be shy. They're trying to... I don't speak sign language. Thank you. Your main event that evening was a 6-man tag team matchup. Matt Vine, Scott Colton, and Nestra who are three really over fan favorites, taking on Irish Andy Anderson, FU Irish Andy Anderson, Ronnie Metro, and Chase Gosling. It was a hell of a matchup. It must have lasted 45 minutes. After the boys, and I mean Vine, Colton, and Anestra, showed off their offensive skills, the other three beat the ever-loving piss crap out of Scott Colton. I don't know how he walked away from that beating. No clue. Boy, that kid, talk about heart. It looked like there was nothing but a greasy little pink wet spot in the middle of the ring, and somehow he managed to go make that tag to Matt Vine, who came in and cleaned house. And boy, did he clean house. Then we saw Matt Vine hit the plancha from the inside out. Inestra comes in. He does a suicide dive, flips right over the top, followed by Scott Colton, who hits the ropes and somehow goes over backwards in some sort of Fosbury flop on top of the mound of flesh. It was Matt Vine who made his way back into the ring slow but sure, followed by Chase Gosling. Vine picks him up for the Death Valley driver. Somehow Chase Gosling is able to wiggle out of that and roll Matt Vine up with a handful of tights and got the 1, 2, 3. So, this Saturday night in Woodstock, it's Matt Vine facing Scott Colton. That's going to be one hell of a match for the PPW World Heavyweight title. The other announced matchup is Ronnie Metro facing Inestra. Keep checking back this week for words from both of them. And Chase Gosling will be in the house and promises some sort of surprise for the Naked Mole Rat for Scott Colton. So, as I told you, it's been about a 13-hour day for old Rand. I'm usually only good for about 6. So here's Rockin' Rand signing out, representing, and wishing you all good mosh pitting. We'll see you Saturday night in Woodstock.